Teslaunch was nice enough to send me a bunch of Tesla Model 3 accessories to review. Some new Aero covers, a insulated front windshield cover, and an insulated cover for the steering wheel. There was a couple issues and sort of a head scratcher, which I'm curious to get your guys' thoughts later on in the video. Whenever I'm reviewing stuff that companies have sent to me, it's always important that I give my honest first impressions. So here we go. 3 accessories for my Tesla Model 3, all themed around winter adventuring. My real-time thoughts. Let's do it. We'll start with the Aero covers. I'm actually really looking forward to getting these new Aero covers because mine are rather dinged up. I've got a bunch of curb rash that I'm really hoping that these will cover up and hide, and overall just give my Model 3 a nice fresh new appearance. They're made of polypropylene. I have no idea how they're going to hold up long term, so let's take off my original Aero cover here. Okay, so original Aero cover off. Whoa, I'm actually kind of glad that I'm swapping these out because the retention clips on that, they're all kind of mashed up. Okay, so I've talked about it in my 3-year update video where I have no idea where that crack came from. If you look on the other side, that lines up with the retention clip. Yeah, you can see in the center, some of the retention clips are all like bent out of shape and busted. So I actually needed to replace these a lot more than I thought I did. So I'll align. See how that has the metal kind of circle part on the Aero cover? This is from my original Aero cover, and it was just hanging loosely. There we go. One new, fresh, clean Aero cover installed. I got 3 more to do. Well, for the front wheel, the retention clips on this one are holding up much better. I don't know why. It was just that one specific wheel so far, the one with the crack. I've theorized in the past that someone did actually kick my rim for whatever reason, maybe during the peak of Tesla hate. So this is the 4th and final Aero cover. It was only that first one we removed that all the retention pins were busted up. No idea what that's about. We got the new Aero covers on there, and you know what? They look really sharp. There's a couple different color options. You can get silver and black, and with the white paint, I think the black looks really good on there. Really pops. Here you can see the old one on the left and the new one side by side, so you can see just how much of a color difference there is. The lip of it actually covers up the actual rim, so you can't see the rim rash anymore. And if I do strike a curb again, then this will take the brunt of the impact instead of my rim. However, there's one important thing that I want you to notice. I'm going to show you 2 sides of the car. Here's the right side, the passenger side of the car. Take a close look at the way these flow, right? They flow kind of away as the car moves this way. Now we're on the driver's side, the opposite side. Now look at the way these flow. Front of the car is here, they angle towards the front of the car. They sent me 4 identical Aero covers, not 2 and 2. So I wound up doing some research, and I guess it turns out that it's actually pretty common for Aero covers, not just these ones, to be identical across all 4 of them, even if they're kind of curved in one particular direction. Seems kind of strange to me, but hey, who am I to argue with industry standard, I guess. I kind of wish that they would mirror them because it makes sense for efficiency if they're supposed to go one particular way. I mean, from an aesthetics perspective, no one's really going to notice unless they're looking really hard, but it is going to bother me just knowing that they're like that. Unlike the original Aero covers, which have metal in all of their retention clips, these ones are all plastic. I mean, don't get me wrong, they should hold up for normal daily driving use, but when it comes to durability from taking impacts, like if you bonk into something like a rock, I don't know if they're going to hold up as well. Just look at the inner plastic retention clips of my original Aero covers where there was no metal. And one area I'm actually really worried about how they're going to hold up long term is with repeated removal and reattachment, because I share the same rims between my winter tires and my summer tires, which means that those things are getting taken off and put back on at least 4 times a year, because first removal and reattachment when you get the new tire swapped on, and then another time when you get the lug nuts retightened, and then multiply that by 2, once for your summer tires come spring and once for your winter tires come fall. Now for the insulated front windshield cover. So this is actually really thick, and I like it because it's got a reflector on one side, which means it's going to be reversible. In the summer, obviously you want the reflective side to be facing that side so it reflects the sunlight, but in winter, if you're camping in the car and sleeping in it overnight, you actually want to flip it around so that the reflective side is facing inward, so that your body heat is reflected off it back into the cabin instead of transmitting through the glass. So you can see on the inside, I got the reflective part actually facing in. Use the sun visors to just hold the top in place. No clips, nothing to faff around with. However, I will say that the material that's inside, whatever it uses to insulate, is kind of brittle. You can see in the corner here, as I was trying to get it unfolded, that got caught on the dashboard, and I heard it crack, and you can see that there's a fold there. So you do have to be careful. You can see on the part that's facing outside, it's the dark part, which it's not its intended purpose, but it does have the added benefit of kind of hiding what's going on in the cabin. If you're sleeping inside the car at like a very public campground or in like a Walmart parking lot or something, just kind of gives you a little bit of that extra stealth. Aside from the broken corner, there's actually more damage. It got damaged a second time. When I was packing everything away, I folded it up and I put it in the box along with my old Aero covers, and I wasn't rough with it. I just kind of tucked it in there gently, and the silver reflective layer tore, and now there's a big gash in that surface. I guess that reflective layer is just super thin and easy to damage. So if you do get one of these, just be careful. Keep it in the bag it comes in. Try not to bend it. I do love how easy this thing is to set up. There's no annoying clips that you gotta screw around with. Just unfold it, tuck it underneath the sun visor, and it's good to go. It takes like 5 seconds, which means I'm actually more likely to use it on a day-to-day basis. If I'm gonna be parked outside for more than an hour, just pull it out and throw it in there so that cabin overheat protection doesn't have to work so hard. The last thing we have is some nice insulated covers for the steering wheel, which would be nice right now when it's actually quite cold. So these are the covers. They do not indicate what side that they're supposed to go on. There's like these thumb pads on here. I think those are supposed to be front facing because the other side, as you can see, doesn't have them. So I think they just kind of slide on like that. Yeah, they're form fitting. Once you find the right way that they're supposed to sit, they just slide right on. And it's actually a nice smooth material. They're still kind of cold to the touch, but they're not as cold as holding the leather of the steering wheel directly. That's too cold for my hand to hold on to directly. Whereas that's much better. But the thing is, it doesn't wrap all the way around to the rear, and so even if I'm holding it like this, my finger on the back of the steering wheel is touching the bare leather. So I would have liked something that kind of wraps around the steering wheel a little more. On the plus side, it might help with wear and tear on the steering wheel, especially considering my wife uses hand sanitizer a lot, and we both use hand lotion for dry skin sometimes. The steering wheel covers have good grip. It doesn't feel like my hands are going to slide on them, as well as they grip the steering wheel really well. After filming, I did drive around for a bit with the wheel cover on, and it felt solid. It felt like it was going to stay in place. There's no adhesive or anything. It just clamps right to the steering wheel, and not in a way that's going to pinch certain parts of it and create depressions in the leather. But anyways, those are my first impressions. Let me know what you guys think. And of course, thank you to Teslaunch for sending me these to review. One thing that they asked me to do is to point out that they changed their name recently. It used to be Teslaunch, now Teslaunch, so same company if there's anybody who's confused. In my annual Tesla Model 3 ownership update videos, I'll start actually checking in on the status of all these accessories, and the next one is due come December. So if you want to see how all of these are holding up long term, that'll be the place to check that out. And if you do plan on getting any of these, there is a 10% off code. Use code MIKE during checkout. If you're new to the channel, I'm all about unconventional electric adventuring, including winter camping in EVs. So make sure you're subscribed if you're into that shit.